There is little doubt that elephants are one step away from complete catastrophe. In little over 100 years, global elephant populations have been wiped out by 95%. How the fuck did that happen? Consider the world itself. About 70% of the world's surface is covered by water, leaving only 30% for any land-based animals. But only 2/3 of that 30% is habitable, of which a further 50% is already claimed by human agriculture. So what's left? A remaining fraction of space where the world's most dominant species, humans, wrestle it out, striving to improve their own lives, developing cities and infrastructure, brimming with clashing politics, opinions, economics, cultures, wars, and religious beliefs. Now consider within that space, in the same time frame where elephants were dropping, the world's human population has increased by 500% to a staggering 7.8 billion and growing. Now imagine, of your remaining species competing against humans for survival, you are the largest animal in the world, who walks the longest distances, requiring the largest space, in large family groups, and who consumes daily the largest amount of food and water resources of any other land animal, all within a rapidly diminishing habitat, of which only 20% is formally protected. And for now, let's ignore the sensitive topics of ivory poaching, legalized hunting, tourism, elephants as meat, medicine, cosmetics, leather, and jewelry, but let's throw in a global pandemic. And here we are, Elephants 2020. It's little wonder that human-elephant conflict and human desperation are both on the rise. Like it or not, around the world, alternatives to keep elephants away from precious farmland at their worst have led to elephants' sudden death from high-voltage electric fencing, slow death from arsenic-poisoned fruit, painful death from snare traps leading to starvation and mutilation, blindings from fireworks, broken limbs from deep trenches, and even some government bodies distributing shotguns loaded with buckshot to local community leaders. It's clear that new options should be considered within the time that we have available. So for us at ElephantSHIELD, for now, we're still hopeful. For now, we just want to help elephants stay in the wild. With your help, our aim is to assist vital research and explore alternate methods to help slow human-elephant conflict, beginning firstly in Indonesia, where in only the last 25 years, the already declining Sumatran elephants have lost 70% of their remaining species and lost a further 70% of their natural habitat. Having worked for the last 3.5 years alongside ethically managed captive elephants, we've also conducted independent research and spoken with local farmers on the ground, leading to the development of 3 forms of prototype we'd now like to test in the wild. Our systems are all made from readily available local recycled or repurposed materials, plus components purchased from local online e-stores. Our independent project gathered knowledge from established elephant researchers Ian Douglas Hamilton, Katie Payne in the 80s, Andrea Tocalo in the 90s, and Caitlin O'Connell Rodwell in the 2000s, as well as some understanding of neurology, behavioural biology and ethology as outlined by Professor Robert Sapolsky of Stanford University. We embrace the known facts that elephants' brains and some behaviours are not too dissimilar to ours. We know that elephants are very smart, are very frequently communicating, either emitting, receiving or processing information. They love to relax, socialise and eat, especially tasty crops, and are mostly highly wary and very protective of their herd. We then applied this knowledge to a typical farm setting, dividing it into 3 zones of potential deterrent. Zone number 1, as elephants approach the crop. Zone number 2, just before elephants enter the crop. Zone number 3, elephants have entered the crop. Let's take a look at our preventive solutions. Number 1, our infrasonic subwoofer. This is by far the project's most ambitious concept and might best be understood when broken down into behaviour. What can their behaviour teach us while they are socialising? Communication. As well as their trumpeting, squeaking and roaring, elephants can communicate via infrasonic rumblings, that is, sounds below human hearing, below 20 Hz, which can travel for many kilometres across the Earth's surface and through the ground. Cymatics. We are aware that sound can, in part, also be considered as vibrational patterns or waves. Our hypothesis is rather than focus on deterring elephants using actual elephant language, i.e. the playback of loud African elephant warning calls, which are not really understood by their Asian cousins, we endeavour to manipulate their auto-responsive and emotional levels with what I best describe as fragmented pockets of infrasonic annoyance. We aim to deter elephants by removing their ability to relax, eat, socialise and easily speak with each other within farmland areas. Our subwoofer does this by constantly playing what I can best describe as fragmented pockets of infrasonic annoyance. So far, using the music forms of dubstep and of heavy metal provide the ideal vibrational patterns that best disturb their invisible quiet environment without disturbing the farmers. The elephants will pick up the infrasonic disturbance through their feet and trunk and constantly be processing these signals in their head. Different annoying vibrational patterns can routinely be uploaded to the unit to ensure the elephants are always filled with a sense of uncertainty for themselves, the young ones, or the rest of the herd. Each unit is made from one 18-inch low-frequency transducer subwoofer, an amplifier, battery unit, plus 2 old recycled oil drums, which form a perfect resonance chamber and is lined with thick rubber sheeting, forcing the infrasonic patterns to emanate both forwards along the surface and down into the ground itself. Beyond that is Preventer 2, our solar-powered simulated beehives. These have long been observed deterring elephants as far back as 1958. Beehive fencing scientifically studied for around 20 years. But having spoken to farmers, many don't want the hassle of looking after bees, or, understandably, are somewhat scared of them. Not to mention, Asian bees are more docile than African bees. They become inactive at night and are highly susceptible to smoke, heavy tropical rains and pesticides, all of which are very frequent in Asian agricultural settings. Therefore, we decided to create these autonomous systems that can work day and night. They are built from a recycled scooter tyre, used plumber's piping, a cheap waterproof speaker, some cabling, a flash drive and cheap solar powered batteries. Lastly, our customised megaphone. In India alone, around 500 people die each year directly from being physically trampled by elephants. So, if elephants can't reach you, they can't kill you, right? We aim to scare them back into the wild at a long distance, over a kilometre away from physical harm. We do this by using our customised megaphones, which are preloaded with updatable sound effects, such as predator roars, gunshots, explosions, and most effective of all, the LRAD deterrent, which is commonly used by military and anti-riot police to disperse violent crowds. This approach is very safe for the elephants and should help quell their remarkable ability to adapt. If elephants become accustomed to one noise, new sounds can be uploaded, with the end goal of keeping elephants where they belong the most, in the wild. Any of these options have the potential either to work separately or even combined. All 3 of these units could easily be rolled out by locals and, if successful, could likewise be made elsewhere in the world, potentially assisting with community-based employment and new skills development. If you'd like to contribute by sharing this project on social, please do so. If you'd like to donate and help fast-track this project into life, do that also. If you have any questions or would like to be part of the testing, you can contact me directly, brad@elephantshield.org. Thanks a lot.